If you're a Black American planning to travel internationally in 2026, there's something you need to understand before booking that flight. Not every destination that looks beautiful online feels the same once you land. And not every country that markets itself as welcoming actually treats every traveler equally. Over the last few years, more Black Americans have been traveling abroad than ever before. Some are relocating. Some are retiring. Others are simply exploring the world beyond the United States. But alongside this growth in global travel, another conversation has been growing quietly, the conversation about what it really feels like to travel while Black in certain parts of the world. This video is not about fear. It's not about canceling entire nations. It's about patterns. It's about understanding social realities, cultural attitudes, and institutional behavior that can affect your experience in ways travel brochures never mention. So today, we're talking about the truth, the part nobody explains clearly, about visiting certain countries as a Black American in 2026. The difference between tourist image and reality. One of the biggest misconceptions in travel is that a country's tourism marketing reflects everyday reality. Beautiful beaches, historic landmarks, and smiling locals don't automatically translate into equal treatment. For Black American travelers, experiences abroad often fall into three categories: open curiosity and staring, subtle social exclusion, direct profiling, or discrimination. Some countries fall into only one category. Others combine all three. And while many experiences are neutral or positive, the emotional effort required in certain places can quietly turn a relaxing vacation into a stressful one. Europe, the romantic image versus social tension. Many Black Americans view Europe as a cultural escape, historic, artistic, progressive. And in many ways, it is. But racial dynamics in parts of Europe operate very differently from the United States. In countries like Italy and Spain, Black Americans often report being mistaken for migrants rather than tourists. That assumption alone can shift how you're treated in shops, restaurants, or public transport. Meanwhile, in France, racial profiling by police has been widely discussed. Some Black American visitors describe being stopped for ID checks while white tourists nearby are not approached at all. Eastern European destinations, including Hungary, can feel more openly tense due to rising nationalist rhetoric. Political messaging about immigration sometimes creates an environment where visible minorities feel watched or unwelcome. This doesn't mean every visit will be negative. But it does mean expectations should be realistic. Asia, safety without social comfort. Asia is often described as extremely safe, and in terms of violent crime, many Asian countries rank very low. However, safety and social comfort are not the same thing. In Japan, Black Americans frequently report subtle exclusion. It may show up as being denied entry to certain establishments, or people physically distancing themselves in public spaces. There's rarely confrontation, but there is often distance. In South Korea, nightlife discrimination has been reported by some foreign visitors. Black travelers sometimes describe being treated differently compared to white Western tourists. In China, the issue is often constant visibility. Staring, unsolicited photos, and invasive curiosity can make visitors feel more like spectacles than guests. While violent crime is rare, the emotional fatigue of constant attention can overshadow the experience. Again, not universal, but frequent enough to be discussed openly in Black travel communities. Middle East, luxury with hierarchy. Destinations like United Arab Emirates attract millions of visitors every year with promises of safety and luxury. And in many ways, the infrastructure is impressive. However, social hierarchy based on nationality, race, and occupation can impact how people are treated. Black Americans sometimes report noticeably different service treatment compared to white Western tourists. The UAE is generally safe in terms of crime, but legal systems are strict, and there are limited public protections specifically addressing racial discrimination. For some Black American travelers, this creates an added layer of caution. If you appreciate honest conversations like this, not hype, not fear, but balanced reality, make sure you subscribe. This channel focuses on real travel experiences so you can move smarter, travel wiser, and avoid unnecessary regret. South Asia, colorism and cultural complexity. In India, conversations about colorism are long-standing within society. Black American visitors sometimes report verbal harassment, excessive staring, or being treated as exotic curiosities. For women, experiences can be more intense, particularly in crowded areas. While many locals are welcoming and kind, unpredictability in certain regions makes some Black travelers feel constantly alert rather than relaxed. The police factor. One of the biggest differences Black Americans report abroad is policing style. In the United States, Black Americans are already familiar with concerns about profiling. But in some countries, police interactions can feel even more opaque because of language barriers and unfamiliar legal systems. In parts of Europe, ID checks for visible minorities are more common. In parts of Asia, foreigner registration laws can feel intimidating if applied inconsistently. The truth is not that police everywhere target Black Americans. The truth is that when racial profiling exists in a system, visitors who stand out visually are more likely to feel its impact. The Internet effect. What makes 2026 different from 2006 is information flow. Black American travelers now share experiences instantly. A negative encounter doesn't stay isolated, it becomes part of a pattern others consider before traveling. This doesn't mean countries are collapsing in tourism. It means specific communities are becoming more selective. Travel decisions are increasingly based on lived experience rather than marketing. What this doesn't mean, it does not mean you will have a bad experience in these countries. It does not mean every local person is racist. It does not mean you should never travel internationally. It means preparation matters. Understanding cultural context, local racial dynamics, and legal systems helps reduce shock and increase confidence. Why some Black Americans still go, and love it. It's important to say this clearly. Many Black Americans travel to these same countries and have incredible experiences. Some report feeling less racially tense abroad than in the United States. Others find deep friendships and welcoming communities. Travel is not binary. It's layered. But the truth is that experiences can vary significantly depending on location, city size, neighborhood, and social awareness. The emotional cost factor. There's a term often discussed in Black travel communities: emotional tax. Even if nothing overt happens, constant staring, small exclusions, or subtle treatment differences can create mental exhaustion. And vacations are supposed to recharge you, not drain you. For many Black American travelers in 2026, destination choice increasingly includes one question: will I feel respected here? How to travel smarter in 2026. If you're planning to visit any of these countries, consider researching Black expat forums, watching first-hand travel accounts, choosing major international cities over rural areas, learning key local phrases, understanding local laws about ID and documentation. Preparation doesn't eliminate bias, but it reduces vulnerability. The truth about visiting certain countries as a Black American in 2026 isn't extreme. It's nuanced. You may experience warmth. You may experience indifference. Or you may encounter subtle barriers that no one warned you about. What matters is awareness. Travel is expanding for Black Americans, not shrinking. It's expanding with information, caution, and community advice guiding the way. Now I want to hear from you. Have you traveled internationally as a Black American? Did your experience match expectations, or surprise you? And what country should we investigate next? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your experience might help someone else travel smarter in 2026.